The road to Rio begins here. Well, for hundreds of hopeful teams, it started a few weeks ago. The biggest of which being Los Astralis, who just about scraped through the RMR qualifiers. Now, the RMRs are set to start in about a month, so we thought we'd cover every single one of the 52 teams and rank them all. Got it? Let's go. Where better to start than with the best team in the world? And not just because they're in Group A, but that does help. FaZe are the current holders of the trophy, and no sane human being would have them not going through. Some of you are a bit insane though. The rest of that group though is completely up for grabs. Let's start with the teams probably least likely to make it. Astralis, no, I'm only joking. B8, Gamer Legion and Ecstatic. No offense intended, and if they disagree, we can't wait to see them make us look stupid. Realistically, everyone here is pretty good, and that's why they're here. B8 might be the most unknown team, but wins over Heat, Tricked and Anonymo make them an intriguing prospect. Gamer Legion have some very talented players, but losing to a team called Benched Heroes doesn't instill much confidence. Ecstatic are less well known names, but they did also take down Heat en route here. Aurora banged out Astralis, and one win are quietly stacked with a bunch of talent, and joined Bad News Eagles in the tier above the other three. B&E haven't quite been the same since the last major, but we are ready to be shocked again. Now for some spicy picks.
Yeah, boy.
In the B tier, we're putting Sprout, Eternal Fire, Fours, and yes, Astralis. We are ready for your comments. Sprout looked quite a bit better than before the player break. Refresh and Xiphon look like great pickups who can move them into the upper tiers. Fours are always scary, and we just can't bet completely against Jerry. Eternal Fire always have the skill to make it, but new additions leave us with a few question marks. While Astralis struggled so much in the RMR qualifiers that we just can't believe in them anymore. We have tried. Fnatic are packed with an incredible amount of talent. Spirit are similarly dangerous. Cloud9 are one of the best teams in the world at their peak. G2 surely can't fuck this one up. And NIP, well, that win over Na'Vi at Pro League is doing a lot of overtime here. On to Group B. Na'Vi and, to be fair, Vitality both make up the S tier. If they don't make it, we've got no idea what happened. Ent could have been in there if we'd seen a bit more of them, but for now we still have some questions. Heroic haven't quite clicked since the roster change, and Big are always around the top without being the top. Yeah, I heard that as well, don't worry. Outsiders are stacked to the ceiling with aim stars and looked extremely good at Pro League. One tier below we see OG, who just lost to Wings Up Gaming 2-0 on LAN, Mouse, who are completely untested but do have massive potential, and Falcons. Sorry Heat fans, you'll just have to deal with it. Masuta in star roles just excites us more than Jax as a star. We'll put K23 and a rogue choice, Monty, into the tier above with Heat. Monty have some low-key spicy talent on it, with Boros and Waro2k being two of the most well-known ones. They're gonna do some damage. K23 can really break some good teams with extra power. Saw aren't the same team who came close last time around. Fantasy are a mixed team. Sangal are still young and might need some more time, while Benched Heroes, look, they're benched. What would it say about everyone else if they made it? Let's head across the pond. Liquid are quite obviously the best team here, and we're expecting to see them in the big leagues. Pain and Imperial have both been to the grand final in Melbourne, but while we can't bet against Furia, certainly not domestically. MIBR and 00 Nation have too much talent and they're likely to go through, but anything can happen over there. Complexity have a European player now, which did tempt us into putting them one tier higher, but we can't be fooled that easily. They'll join 9Z, who currently don't have a permanent 5th, ATK, who are very dangerous domestically, Squirtle Squad, who quietly have some quality talent, and Evil Geniuses. It's a serious fall from grace for EG, but we can't in good faith put them a tier above ATK or Complexity. They're, if anything, at the lowest part of this tier. Neolan is a good IGL, but he isn't a miracle worker. Oplano and Team 1 might have made it into a higher tier, but this is a pretty strong RMR. Oplano always have the X factor of KNG, Team 1 have that Malbs Deagle, but it's just not enough for us to believe. Arctic have a player called History, but they are a complete unknown. None of their results make us think they're anything special just yet. We'd love to see Infinity do well just to get kinky stickers, well, even kinkier than the dick ones, but their results are mediocre, while Isurus might have some hidden gems. We know Mayan can play, but how much can Isurus do? Asia has just 4 teams, sorry. Rare Atom are the clear favourite here. Jamyoung, Mosea and Mercury are filthy gamers and could honestly do some damage in any other qualifier. The other 3 can go any way possible. We'd love to say something spicy here, but it's basically impossible to pick a second winner. Greyhound are dominant in their own region, but we've seen they're a little bit away from the EU and Brazilian teams. IHC side through domestic tournaments, but haven't played outside of that for a while. GG How, I hope to God I've pronounced that properly, but I'm certain I haven't, have a very unique roster. Mestal and Blue Phoenix are super talented, and Davcost and Facecrack have played at a higher level, but we've got no idea if they're actually good as a team. They could be miles better than Greyhound, or half as good, and we're none the wiser. Here's just an overlook at the final tier list. If you're upset at your favourite team's placement, then you can cope and seethe, or just leave us a comment calling us stupid, that also works. We'd love to see your tier lists and tell us why Astralis will or won't make it, but try and do it without using the word washed. Peace out.